Pascal, for many of the designers out there or the ones that aren't and are just, yacht enthusiasts, um, can you tell us where your creativity comes from? What inspires you?
Yeah, with the creativity, I think I don't really believe in designing with a blank piece of paper with blank ideas and try to get something out of your mind. I really believe design comes from things you have seen, details, and I take a lot of inspiration from random objects as a springboard, like shoes. I love shoes. Little shoe detail or handbags can be a small detail, a springboard for some ideas. You always need to have a little detail or something to make your mind grow and come up with something. So I would say, yes, object, shoes, nature, element, but you need to start your creative functioning out of something. You see, it's like an exercise. You look at a picture. A picture can say many words. You can read many elements, and it's always a story. You want to create a book. You think of one character, one event, and from there you build something. So I think for design, it's how it is. You see, I look at one detail. I can see a piece of jewelry and say, "Oh, that's interesting." The way the light reflects, or the detail of the stone, and suddenly I start thinking of, oh, that could be interesting shape for a bar. I know it's very random, but you need springboard. You need something like to springboard to develop ideas, and it's how I function. So I collect many things, and
I was going to ask that do you add to your itinerary, I don't know, museum days or exploration days in nature?
Yes, I mean, actually, I'm a big art collector, art lover. I have plenty of paintings and everywhere. I buy houses just to hang the paintings, to be honest, because I have too many of them. But I know I do, during work, when we travel for business, very rarely we have time to stop, to be tourists and go to places, because we're so pushed by time all the time. But I do like to go to museum, but not too much. I mean, I'm an art historian by an archaeologist by training. So I know about studying and researching, but I don't really like museum. I like going to museum just to see one thing, one painting, one sculpture at a time. But I don't really like going to museum to see a whole museum, because it's a bit like fast food, you go to a place and it's too much and you don't look at anything. So when I was a student in Paris, I was living not far from the Louvre. So I used to pop to the Louvre just for see one sculpture, one painting at a time. Not to do the whole Louvre. It would take you a few days just to do this. And then you get saturated and you don't see anything. And it's why that you have to be very selective. I mean, it's a bit like paintings. When you have painting in your house and you hang them on the walls, you don't see them anymore. So you have to turn them around. You have to move them. It's sweet. Many art collectors do. You move paintings because you don't see them anymore. It's amazing how much your art gets used to things. So, yeah.
I haven't thought of it that way. I'm definitely going to start moving stuff around.
You have to, now you do. You don't see them after this. You taste it. You will see what I mean. So you have to rediscover things. It's why I think when you go to do some research, you have to be more targeted or be surprised, but don't expect to grab everything and do it in one go. I think it's you don't see the limit of how much your feeling and your brain can take in true depths. You see,
I think that also goes back to you saying that you want to keep the design alive, because sometimes you just do too much, but you need to really like refresh to be able to see another side that you might have, overlooked.
That's it. So you have to keep it fresh in mind, fresh in the eye, and to do it fresh is not to see too much. It's to be selective. Yeah.